All right, here we are. We back another one, man. Tuesday night's been lit. And I gotta say, Tuesday nights, Wayne, is my most watched views. You know what I mean? The numbers are like cranking on Tuesday nights, and it's gotta be they want to see the man with the bling, the man with the
Come on.
rings, Wayne the Voice
I think,
Matthews. What's good?
man, I'm always good. I think it's because you in your prime on Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? You in your element, so we good to go.
Yeah, I'll
I
tell you
can't.
what. So what's going on, man? How's everything down there in Maryland? You've been busy. I see you all over the country. Voice Sports, the goats, man. I have to take my hat off to you if I didn't have my headphones on. But you,
Hey,
Samson, Clinton, what the whole Voice Sports network is doing across the country. Kenny down there in Texas. I mean, the Ohio player up there in Ohio, your boy Chris in Kentucky. Like, you really putting it down, man. Like, the goats.
man, it's interesting work, but you can't omit the work that you're doing right there in Rhode Island by being able to give that platform for people to have a voice as well for Rhode Island. So there's a lot of stuff that you're doing that people have yet to grasp a hold of. I know we had conversations all the time, but you gotta start. You can't omit my man MR about his business, man. Mikey, you killing it up there as well. Get them conversations with the coaches, the players, and bringing up those topics that seldom are addressed. And I love it personally because you don't have an issue with addressing the elephant in the room. You'd be like, yo, I see the trunk and everything right there. So you open up a whole another level to what we do as well. So it makes only sense that we come together and form like Voltron on this thing, man. And Tuesday nights, the perfect time. There's no football to intervene with it, no basketball to intervene with it. So why not tune in to the Voice Supporter Show and sit down and have a convo with the voice of my man MR, Mikie Rebello. Come on, man.
Yo,
And we
thanks,
gonna keep it
Wayne.
real.
That's right. We got to keep
And
it
we gonna
real, When I started this platform talking about the things that other people won't talk about, some people said there ain't no room for that in youth sports. Well, you know what? There needed to be room, and we made room for that because there's a lot of shady things that go on behind closed doors that sometimes people want to talk about, coaches want to talk about, league presidents want to talk about, but they just can't. They're in that political era that they just really can't speak about it. So you know what? I'll speak about it because some of these things that go on just it's just out of pocket. Some of some of the things that we dealt with, kicking 6 year
that's
old
the
kids off teams, just doing crazy things.
but that's the power. That's the power of using your right to speak and using your voice for what it's for. The creating the platform is a whole nother level. But when you have things that go on in youth sports, there's a lot of things that parents want to say something about, but they don't because of the politics. The fear of consequences of repercussions, not necessarily on them, they could care less, but the consequences of repercussions that can be imposed upon their kids during their journey. So they tend to bite their tongue on things. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on because, again, for every event that goes on is great and is awesome and all that other stuff, you do got people who put events together, and I'll be flat out honest with you, they money grabs. They got no intentions on making you better. They got no intentions on helping you elevate yourself throughout the process of transitioning from elementary to middle school to high school to be better on the back end. They're just trying to find a way to slip $200-300 about your pocket. So by us being voiceful about it, it gives the parent and the viewer at home a chance to look into the things that we point out and show you so you can better due diligence on the back end. I never got a negative word against anybody, but you can tell quickly the difference between right and wrong.
No, you're right. And before we bring Rusty Noel up in here, he's sitting in the green room. We dealt with that a couple weeks ago, Wayne. Remember? It was one of the youth leagues. They had 3 fields, and the third field, it seemed, was they were sending all the kids to lower teams there, and there was nobody there to take it. And a big fight happened, right? I think that lady posted a big
Right.
live stream about it. We have events like that. So these people putting on these event planners, some of these people are just, they're not there for the kids. They don't plan great events. But I heard your boy Rusty puts on some great events, Wayne.
Rusty is my man behind True Talent All-American Games. If you don't know, I'm going to let you know now. And look, nobody does it better. Come on, man. My man, the Cage, the Raging Cage and stuff. What's up, Rusty?
How y'all doing, guys? How y'all doing?
All right. Welcome, Rusty. You was on in the green room a couple weeks ago. We couldn't get you on, but welcome to the show. Appreciate it. I hear a lot about the events you plan, man, and I just want to say thank you, for doing what you do.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. And I was kind of listening to y'all's conversation, and oddly enough, that's how I got started. Years ago, I was fortunate enough and blessed to be asked to, coach in an All-American game. And, man, I went to this game, and the talent level was through the roof. Crazy. Right. And then next thing you know, the kids didn't get anything, man. They got a little $20 jersey, and they were just kind of, here, go play your game and then go home. And then I was invited to coach in another All-American game. Big old pageant, light show, fireworks, all the boom that goes with it. Man, the kids got some cool swag. It was really neat. But then I got there and realized, man, I had a center who couldn't snap a football. I had a quarterback who was playing with a football 2 sizes smaller than the age group we were, so he couldn't hold a football his own age. I think I had 9 running backs on the roster, 2 linemen, 3 or 4 quarterbacks total. And all these parents were basically, for lack of better terms, they were just pissed at me because I couldn't get all their kid in at running back in this. But the organizer didn't care. He just wanted his $300-400. I think that event was up to like $500. And they get all this stuff, but as long as you pay your $300 or $400-500, well, you got, you were selected as an All-American and you got to go, and you couldn't even compete with a local rec team. So that was the thing with it. And I started thinking to myself quickly, man, there's got to be something, in between this. There's got to be a way to where these kids can have a great experience, a great event. And also, you don't have to kill the parents for money-wise, but then still keep the integrity of the game. Make sure the talent level is in check. Wayne can tell you, he's been to 2 of my events. Man, we have dogs here, and an email I got this morning, a lady wanted to know, she was trying to register her son, and she was talking about guaranteeing playtime. And I said, well, we make sure everybody plays. But I could just tell the question she was asking. And I asked her, I said, look, you've asked a lot of questions. You haven't sent me any highlights or videos of your son. She says, well, he's not that good. And I said, well, this is definitely not the place for you. She goes, but he has played in a couple of All-American games, but he didn't get to play. He got pushed to the back. I said, no, ma'am. I said, this is definitely not what you're looking for your child. We need to, look at some other things for your kid, maybe some camps, some clinics. But, you got to be upfront and honest with these parents, and don't take their money and give them these pipe dreams and get them over here just for a few $100s. That's not what we're about. And instead, she had a couple kids on their team that wanted to come with her. I turned them all down because it's just not the place for them. It's not about the money for me.
Right. A lot of times people come into the game thinking, okay, I could buy my son an all-star status. Boo, this is not a pay to play. You cannot come in here with a backup quarterback and tell everybody because he got a fresh haircut, he's a starter. You're going to sit him out here in front of coaches that know the game and going to see quickly he can't make all 3 throws. When I say all 3, I mean he's short. Right. Yeah, you're going to find out quickly. And the other end of it is when you just pay for them to participate, a lot of times they see the size of the players. the pace of the game, and go, man, I don't know if I want to go in there. So now you got a parents here put my son in. Like, so you know, those things I love the fact that the way West goes about handling it up close personal forthright with them, and there's so many things that you have been able to explain, show, and exude to a lot of people. I think it gives all the more reason for you to have more time to speak about true talent and your journey. I know you just came back from another village out in Seattle or something.
We went to Riverside, California. Myself and my offensive coordinator, Coach Josh, you met him when you were down there for True Talent. We coached our Swamp Cat 12U team, and we were selected to play in the Big Dog Bowl out in California. Good event. We've played in it for years. It's very organized. I see Wayne's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, he'll be back with us. I'm still here. I got you.
You know, it's a great event. It's organized. They have some great teams from the West Coast that, being from Louisiana, we just don't get to see. So we actually took a 10U team and a 12U team, and myself and my coach took the kids that couldn't afford to go, and the kids that couldn't afford to go, we went ahead and rented a van and drove 28 and a half hours to make sure those kids got that experience. And man, we drove 28 and a half hours to Cali. We get there, and the lady said, which would normally be music to your ears, right? Your room's ready. You can check in. We're thinking, man, we can get some sleep. But, man, I didn't want to waste a day for those children to be able to experience something. So we jumped right back in the van and took off to Hollywood.
Wow, that's quite an experience. You know, at least you got them kids to do something. You know, what a van ride that was, huh? 20-something hours.
28 and a half there and 28 and a half back. Man, it was a miserable ride, but well worth it. So they have single years and double years there. So there's a 9 and 10 division and a 10 division. And then there's an 11 and 12 division, a 12, straight 12. Well, we signed up for all four, and we won 3 out of 4 divisions while we were there with our boys. So it was definitely well worth it.
Louisiana, you know, you must a lot of ballers out there. I lived out there in West Wego for a little while, you know,
Yep.
right not far from Metairie and stuff. I loved it out there. I went out there to visit for a few weeks, and I ended up staying like a year and a half. You know, it was such an enjoyable place to be. The people were nice. What's your experience with once you leave Louisiana, as far as the people?
So I've coached in Florida. I've coached in Virginia. I've coached in New York City, North Carolina, Ohio, Texas a lot, all the way to Vegas and California. People are different. You know, New York blew my mind because they encourage them parents to be right on the sideline with you. There's no bleachers, there's no fence, there's nothing. They were right in the mix, and I'll never forget. It was my first time coaching in up there, and I had my staff from Louisiana with me, and they had a prediction show the night before the games, and one of them guys, this is what stuck with me. He said, "Man, I'm going with the coaches from Staten Island versus these coaches from Louisiana because I don't think these Louisiana guys are too nice. They're not going to be able to handle their sidelines and be in that kind of coaching that environment." It was kind of a lopsided game. It was an All-American game, and he didn't have a lot of guys sign up. It was a fifth and sixth grade game. But what he did, instead of dividing up everybody, he gave us the sixth graders and gave us the fifth graders, gave them the sixth graders. So we were a year apart. And then he had 2 kids. The other team had 2 kids, looked like they'd been held back 3 times. I don't know their age, but they were in 6th grade. But so, man, I tell you what, we ended up beating them. I think it was 28-6. And the way I handled that was, before the environment could get hostile on me, I got in the mix with the environment. Man, I already had them on my side, and it turned into a Cajun party on the sideline where we were at, and the parents loved it, and I just got them involved, and you could tell instantly they wasn't used to somebody not wanting to fight back, you know, or kind of be provoked or provoke them, man, and we just had a blast, and turned it into a good old party, and kicked some tail, and flew back to Louisiana. So that New York was a little different. I'd like to get back and coach in that area again. It was fun.
Come up to Rhode Island. You're always welcome.
Man, I love up north, man. I think, you know, the kids are a little different. They're fun to coach. One thing about every kid I can say that I've coached up north, it's like you kind of form this little bond, and they don't forget you. Some of those kids I had coached early on are off in high school now, and man, they'll send me their link to their to their huddle, or, hey coach, what do you think about this? And I love following these kids, man. Look, I tell people all the time, when it comes to these events, I mean, they're kids at the end of the day, and this gonna sound strange coming from an owner of an event. If you're coming to one of these events for just exposure, or thinking you're going to get your kid a college scholarship coming to a youth All-American game, man, you're definitely in it for the wrong reason. If you want to come out, have your kid coached by some different coaches to where maybe they learn some things that they don't know, have your kid meet uh, great kids from around the country. I think last year we had 43 different states represented. We had kids that come in from Mexico, Canada. Uh, I think New. I have to check. New Finland maybe is where the other young man was from. Um,
Yes, wow.
but if you want to come and get that experience, we treat you like family when you get here. Um, I seen some text from another owner of a game, and they were discussing some players that had played in his game, and I guess they didn't get along, or they had some issues. I don't know. I don't ever mention another game or another person.
Right,
But
right.
but and he commented. He said, "Well, I bet Rusty's down there just catering to them." And my comment back was, "Absolutely am. I cater to every one of them. I get 600 kids come in the door. I'll cater to every one. I'm not catering just to them." But yeah, he's absolutely 100% right. That's my job, is to make sure when these families come into this event, it's a great experience for the kid, the player, for the family, for the siblings of that player. Um, Man, Wayne can tell you, anybody could host an event where they have an opening ceremony in an auditorium or a gym with a light show, but man, we're about the Cajun culture down here. So I actually I rent out an entire Cajun working village. The bayou runs through it. There's the old church, the old doctor. Everybody, it's a working Cajun village. I rent the place out for everybody to come to. There's a big pavilion in the back. I
What
hire
town is this done in?
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, all right. Is that pronounced Lafayette or Lafitte?
There is a Lafitte that was close to where you lived at. There's a Lafitte down south of New Orleans.
Okay.
Lafayette is, if you take Interstate 10 where it crosses the state of Louisiana, it's pretty much at the bottom, about 30 miles up from the Gulf, right in the middle of the state.
Now
We're
you have an
right there.
event planning. What about your event this year?
So
You
we
want?
have two events coming up. We
I
have
see you in
Nashville,
there,
Tennessee
Samson.
first. Yeah, we have Nashville, Tennessee first, May 27th through the 30th. That event's growing. We just started it last year, and kind of like a baby, we're taking it slow and making sure everything's done right. That's May 27th, Memorial Day weekend.
Must
And
be
then
the star status. You hear me, Mikey?
Yeah. I brought you up in here. That's all.
Check
Yep,
one, check two.
we can
Rusty's
hear you.
telling us about his event that he
Mikey,
has
can you
coming
hear
up
me?
in May. Yeah, I can hear you. Let me bring him down while Rusty finishes explaining. Go ahead, Rusty.
Yeah, and then Lafayette is July 4th weekend. You can go to the True Talent Sports Facebook page, and all the info's on there. I keep posting every day. I'm posting the different uniforms, things like that. We're working on the ring mock-ups and the medals and everything the kids get. We try to keep our price point, low at 250, and then I even have a payment plan for the ones who can't afford it. We swag them out, full uniform, top, bottom, compression shirt, socks, bag. Uh, they get opening ceremony. They get their All-American rings, which I try to make sure we got some of the biggest rings out there. Wayne can show you. He's got one on his hand.
I seen it. I
We
seen
do a
it.
full, and my deal this year to my ring guy, as I told him, I want the biggest ring. I want something bigger than I had last year. Um, we do a full Zydeco band and a Cajun cook-off. We do a whole separate cooking competition for the local cooking teams that battle out on Food Network. And our parents and kids come eat for free. They get to sample all that good food for free, listen to some Zydeco music. And instead of making it like a football opening ceremony, we wanted to make it like a Cajun festival for these parents and people to come in and get that experience.
A lot of
So we do
crawfish. A lot of crawfish
that.
going
Yeah,
around.
man. That's it. It's crawfish season now. We had ball crawfish last night. But yeah, it's just now getting into crawfish season. Mardi Gras fixing to kick off at the end of next month. I told Wayne we need to go live from our parade float. We have a float in the Mardi Gras parade.
Mardi Gras is awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I missed it last year with COVID. They canceled us, and we couldn't. They shut everything down for COVID last year. But man,
The
I tell
year
you what,
before Katrina was the last time I was down at Mardi Gras. But right before Katrina came, it was like, what an exceptional time. I think they even had the drunk tank in the parade. Where when guys get drunk, they put them in the parade.
they come in there. That's it. They find the paddy wagon. It just follows them down. That's
That's
it.
it, man. We're gonna bring my guy Samson in. Samson,
What's
what's
happening?
good,
What's
man? How
happening,
you
man?
doing?
Been a minute, dog. First time on a live this year, 2022. What up, Rusty? Shout out to you,
How's it
everybody
going, man?
down there in the South, man. I've always wanted to come down to New Orleans, man. That's one of the spots I haven't hit yet.
New Orleans is fun, man. It's just you can't walk down the street without just feeling the culture. The
Right.
heritage and the culture, and it's just, I traveled all over the country. I traveled to other countries. Just a few places that you just feel it when you walk. When you get down in New York City, it's just busy and it's all busy and it's fun, but it's just busy. New Orleans, you can kind of, sit back and take a stroll, and it's everything's cultural. The
And
food,
you
the
can,
music, the paintings, the artists, the street performers. It's just good times, good times.
good stuff, man. I gotta come down there. I gotta make that stop. I ain't been down there yet. I gotta get down there, bro.
Well, you got an open invitation to True Talent, man. Anytime you want to come to one of
I
our All American
appreciate it. I
games,
appreciate
you
it.
got full access.
Hey Rusty,
I
how can
appreciate it.
people reach out to you if they wanted to join your league, or what do you have contact information, some handles you want to leave?
Yep. TrueTalent.aa at yahoo.com is our email address for the True Talent All American game. And then y'all can get me at RustyNoel73 at yahoo.com. Man, I check my emails pretty regularly. Probably about every 15, 20 minutes, I'm on top of things.
All right, Rusty, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming on. Good luck, and we'll check out what you have going on in May.
Appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Samson, how are we doing?
What's happening, man? Listen, it's a lot getting ready to jump off, bro. I had a rocky, so 2022 has been kind of rocky for me starting off. You know what I mean? So, I went and did the Florida event with Wayne. Fire. Shout out to Coach Mac. I went and did the Coach Mac, 5th annual Coach Mac All American game. Games were fire, bro. Like for real. Like I won't now, mind you, that was my first game as a media guy. That was my first All American game as a media guy. The first All American event that I did as a coach was in 2021, the beginning of 2021. I did Al's All American game up there, showcase up in Tennessee. Fire event, man. top to bottom indoor. And from the minute we got there at 8 a.m. that morning until we left, the event was fire, bro. And it was the same thing. And it was the same thing when I went to Coach Max down in Florida. It was the same vibe. From the minute that we got to Florida until the time we left, it was fire. But when we left and hit Fredericksburg, all hell broke loose.
You are rookie of the year, though. That's for sure, man. You've been
Hey, listen,
killing
man.
it.
That's just listen. It's just the energy, bro. Like it's crazy because my man. Shout out to my man, the Ohio player. We met in the same spot at the same time that I first even seen the Voice itself, and that was in Tennessee at Al's event. I actually was supposed to coach the Ohio player's son. So it was crazy that we both did media and didn't even realize that we even did media, but we was both there as coaches. So that was kind of dope. So shout out to him, and of course, big shout out to my man Dino. But that's just me talking my, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just me
yeah.
talking my talk, bro. It's just me. It brings that energy. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real, man. People can talk all the crap they want about titles not matter, and titles don't mean stuff like that, and accolades don't mean stuff. Come on, man. Listen, it makes you fight. When somebody claims they self, it's like in hip hop. You do hip hop skip. It's like at hip hop. If somebody claims King of the South, then all of a sudden everybody drop albums, bro. So it's
Yeah.
just it's an energy, bro. It's an energy, man. It brings an energy. That's what I'm all about, is bringing that energy.
No, you're absolutely right. Wayne fighting to get back in the stream. Busy,
Yeah,
busy guy.
man.
You
It's a
know.
lot getting ready to go on
Oh
down
yeah,
here in
yeah. He
Virginia.
was breaking it down. You got about to fly here, fly there. You got Rusty
Oh
doing
man,
his thing,
listen.
man. But I was telling him, Voice Sports, man, go for this shit.
Oh, we listen. It's like everything else that I'm involved with, like the Warriors, Commonwealth League Warriors, man. That's my program. I love that
All
program.
right.
It's a vibe. That program is a vibe. It's an energy. We have a certain swag that we carry ourselves with. It's the same thing with the local locker room. Same thing with Voice Sports, man. Like every single person in Voice Sports has their own vibe, their own energy, their own
Mm-hmm.
lane. You know what I mean? Like we're like people don't understand that about Voice Sports that I learned quick, fast, and early, dog. We are really and I love how we combine hip hop, like especially with me and you, even Wayne. Wayne does it all the time. The professor does it all the time. We put the hip hop mix in with the what we do with the sports because if you think about it, Voice Sports, like, and I'm gonna break this down again. Voice Sports is like Def Jam, bro. Voice Sports is like the big label, but then we all have our lane. You get what I'm saying? I got
Yeah,
local locker room.
facts.
I got local locker room, and I got my crew. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Can We Keep It Real podcast. The professor's got the live. Dino's got Dino TV. So like we're all under this umbrella, but at the same time we got our own thing, dog. And that's what I like about the Voice. It's like they don't put handcuffs on you, dog. They let you be who you are and do what you do, Wayne. And I appreciate it. I appreciate Wayne a lot because what people don't know, and I'm gonna say it. He might not want me to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm big on loyalty. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I could respect that.
Like everybody knows my past and my history. I don't try to hide it, and I carry that same code and that same ethic. So I'm big on loyalty. So like, there's dudes that have rode with me from day one. There's guys that have been with me from day one with the local locker room joint, and I salute Wayne for this because when Wayne brought me in, he didn't know them other dudes. He didn't know about them other dudes. He just know about me. Like he talked to me, blah blah blah. But whenever I said, "Yo, bro, my crew gonna come with me. One of my crew gonna come with me. My crew is with me." He never said like, "Nah, just you." Nah, da da. Nah, like, okay, if they with you, they with us. Like, so that's one of the things I love about the Voice, man. Like they really embody like morals, family morals. Like if they're your family, that's my family because you're my family. Like I
Yo,
love that shit,
that
man.
comes from the streets, though. You know what I mean? Like
That's
he's with
real.
me.
That's
If
real,
I
bro.
say you with me, then no matter who I'm with, should say
You
respect
with
him because you with
facts.
me.
And Wayne does that. And the proof to that is when he let my brother. Dude been with me for 11 years, man. And this shit hit me. I ain't gonna hold you. But when he let my brother take that trip to Florida with us and he treated my brother like he was media. And he told my brother, like, you one of us, dog, that shit, that's different, man. You gotta
Nah,
respect that.
facts,
And that's why I
facts.
respect the Voice label. That's why when I'm telling you now, can't nobody say nothing bad about Voice Boys around me. Facts.
No, oh yeah, no, exactly. And I told Wayne, like, imagine if we had a network behind us, a
Oh
budget
my
behind
God,
us.
bro. What?
You know what I
Bruh.
mean? Like, we're doing all this off our own dime, off our
Off our
own
own
back.
dime, off our own time. Yeah, bro. We putting footwork in. We like it's crazy because you watch, and I'm not comparing us to like these individuals, but I'm looking at the situation. You watch the movie Kings of Comedy, right?
Yeah.
And you hear how all those like big name comics started off on the highway, paying their own dime, getting bus tickets, driving in the rental cars and the beat up buckets and sleeping in the bro. We just did that shit this weekend, bro. Like the weekend before last, bro.
Steve Harvey talks about it. Like, Steve Harvey
Dog,
said, I had my $6 to my name. He said, before I got my deal, sleeping in a car, you know,
listen,
but they, facts. I seen some of
listen,
the
man.
videos Wayne was posting.
Yeah, it was real, bro. But it
I
was
see
cool,
out
man.
there.
It was cool. It was cool though, man. It was crazy, but the vibe and the energy that we had and the whip laughing and joking and shit, it kind of
Man
cut the
keeps
it.
coming in, coming out. His stream, he said they be calling me. You know what I mean?
They
So
do,
his
man.
he said, you know, you and Samson hold it down, but let's bring in his little sidekick over here. What's going on? How
What's
we doing?
happening?
I have something here that I showed Wayne, and Wayne was like, "Oh, not you too." He
Oh
said,
boy.
"Watch this picture. I think you're gonna appreciate this. Where is it? Here we go. The Big Ben retirement party."
Listen, bro. Listen. Wayne not gonna like hear me say that, but Big Ben should already be sitting at home. The Chargers coach is a nut, bro.
Facts.
Pittsburgh should not be in. I'm not trying to be funny. Salute the Wayne in Pittsburgh. Whatever. Pittsburgh shouldn't be in the playoff.
No, they really shouldn't, man.
They
Big
really
Ben's
shouldn't be,
been
man.
he should already be sitting home with Peyton
Yeah,
Manning. They say Peyton Manning so bad that his wife has to take Polaroids now of what he's gonna wear. Like, his mind is just like getting to the point where it's that shot. And I was amazed after I read that article.
that's
You know,
tough,
Not
man.
surprised.
yeah, that is tough. Imagine you're like, and I know Jim McMahon is out there because I knew someone that personally knew him, and but they said that Peyton Manning's wife has to take Polaroids of his outfits and stuff, so he can kind of say, okay, I have to wear this today. You know, these guys take so many hits.
That's tough, bro.
I'm not surprised, unfortunately.
Wayne, you with us yet or what? We still seeing that nice Maud
Do you
shirt.
think
JC
you
said it's not pink, it's Maud. So,
you think Brady's gonna be because Brady's football wise, Brady's up there in age right now,
but Brady takes kind of he fills himself with that alkaline and the diet he's on. Who knows? It has to work. I mean, the guy's
man. I
gonna be
mean,
like
yeah, he's
it's gonna
still
be 2036 MVP Tom Brady. You
No, that
know what
man
I
better
mean?
retire in the next 5 years.
They say he's
You
gonna
think so?
retire when he gets
I
10.
hope so.
Well, I
He'll
mean,
get 10.
he can't be damn near 50 still playing in the NFL.
Isn't
You
he
know
what, like
what?
42 now?
And that's what I
42?
was gonna say. Ain't he like 42, 43 already?
43, 44. I mean, Brady kind of defined all laws of physics, man.
He definitely has.
Hypothetically, I mean, he probably hasn't taken as many hits as Big Ben or
No,
No,
Peyton
he
Manning.
no.
knows
That's
how
for
to
damn
take
sure.
hits.
He knows how. Yeah, he knows how to
You
put
ever
people
see
on
how
his
Brady falls? He falls like an armadillo. He
Yeah.
trained himself. The way he falls and covers himself up. I mean,
right.
I think where Brady is, it's that Brady's just smarter than everybody else. He's got it up here where he already knows the game. He knows the answers to the test. He's seen every
Why
defense
she make that look?
possible.
Why she make that
Because I
look?
have a thing against Tom Brady and people saying things like that, but I feel like he did his research before going in rather than like as well as learning throughout. But like
That's what's
most
made him the
quarterbacks
goat.
don't do that. What?
Well, that's why he's better
That's
than
what's made
everybody.
him the GOAT. Him doing things that most quarterbacks or most players for that matter don't do. Like you just said, going into the league, Tom probably studied concussions. He probably studied how to take lesser shots. That's why if you're on Tom's team, you got to know that the offensive linemen are going to be some of the highest paid players on that team. Period.
Yeah, especially Nate Solder, especially that blind side, you know, that God's Brady.
So that's
Now
what
I'm
makes him. That's what makes Brady the GOAT. Is not just his rings, but his longevity and what he's done to make sure he lasts that long. That's what makes him the GOAT.
Can
I seen Brady play before Brady became the Brady. I remember Drew Bledsoe going down,
I,
right?
Yep.
Marvin
I
Lewis
remember
hit him, I
Youngin.
think it was Jets game, right?
I
So I was
think
like,
we got him
man,
this time.
I
I
was a
think we.
Brady hater. Wayne, you with us? This'll
You
I
know,
tell.
was too.
This'll tell if Wayne's with us. Wayne, are
why
you
does
there?
everybody hate Brady, yo? I don't
I
Because
used
he
to
understand.
hate Brady.
wins.
I don't now. Hold
Just
on.
like
Hold
everyone
up.
hated the Bulls back in the day. Everyone
I
hated the
love Brady.
Yankees.
Listen, I
Look,
love Brady.
so when
I'm gonna
Tom
tell you
Brady
why I
came
love
into the
Brady.
league and you watch Tom Brady dominate and dominate, you know, he
I'm gonna
studies
tell
the
you why.
game.
I'm gonna tell you why I love Brady because he really is passionate about the game. Even now, the man has more rings than damn near anybody else in the history of the NFL,
He's
and
got more rings than most franchises.
he's still more, and he's got more rings than 50% of the franchise.
Yeah.
But yet he still attacks the game like it's his rookie year, like he has something to prove.
Can I
And you
throw a
know,
curveball? How many of those? How many of those did he win fair and square?
all
Oh
of
my
them.
gosh, here we go.
Now,
Here we
I'm
go.
I'm
somebody that
sorry.
read the
I
Wells
had to.
report.
I
I'm
had
very
to.
versed. I'm
I
very
Here we
love
versed.
go.
Brady.
I'm
Here
I
very
we
had to
go.
versed
throw
on
that.
the Wells report. Let me tell you, that was about politics. That whole deflate gate. A lot of that came down to politics. You know, once you go through all that,
I'm
anybody that
talking more
drives a
than
car.
Deflategate.
Well, what else? What else? What else was it? Deflate gate. You're
The
talking what
video,
other
the
ones?
video, the
All right.
so-called video, and I
You know
mean,
what the video gate is?
you can get
It's
film from
between
anywhere.
it's between being filmed under a roof. That was the
That's
only thing really that they violated. They didn't film under a roof. But Roger Goodell, Bob Kraft was so friendly. People started saying, "Oh, you know, the guy got you the job." Blah blah blah. You can't say if they cheated, right? How come that them two guys that allegedly helped him cheat, they never came forward. They never said
because
they
hey,
never
listen,
got called out there.
anything to stop a goat, man. You see how much hate Saban got last night,
Oh
and so
yeah,
many people. People wasn't even happy that Georgia won. They were just happy that he lost.
yes,
That is
that he
That would have been
crazy.
lost.
me.
See,
That would
that
have
is
been me.
crazy. That is the
come on, come on,
craziest
come on,
Hey,
thing.
come
hey,
on, come
but
on.
in my defense, as an Ole Miss fan, I'm allowed to hate Alabama.
That
Wayne,
what up, dog?
he's saying, "Come on, come on, come on. We can
He's
hear you.
there.
We can
We can
see
see
you."
you.
This is crazy.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you good.
This is crazy, son. This is crazy, son.
We can hear you.
He
Uh-huh.
said, "This is crazy,
He said, "This
son."
is crazy." He went in. Listen,
He's
that
seeing
is
this. He's like, "I got to
look
talk
at that,
about this."
man.
Thank
No,
God he's retiring. I don't like Big Ben for so many reasons.
Wow.
I
Well,
hate the
you're lucky
Steelers
Wayne ain't here.
with more passion than one can possibly have.
you must be a
remember,
Ravens fan.
I am.
remember
Oh,
Cordell Stewart? I remember Cordell Stewart back in the day before Big Ben came around. He was their wide receiver, running back. Then he's transferred to quarterback. They called him
my
Slash.
favorite Steelers player of all time. Ah, man, they had a lot of great killer players during my era. I'm not gonna
Chase
speak on
Claypool.
before my era, but I have to say my favorite Steelers player. I'm a defensive guy, so I gotta go with Palomalu, yo.
I gotta
The
go
VO5 guy.
I gotta go with Palomalu.
Anthony
He changed
McFarland.
the safety. He changed the whole way we looked at the strong safety,
Safeties.
bro.
You're right. He was
Yes.
beast. He was beast.
He was one of the first. He was one of the first safeties I seen play down in the box and be very run stop and be able to be pass stop effective like he was, or you could blitz him off the edge. Like he was crazy. He was the young. You know how this area got the kid Peppers. He's a young. He was an older version of Pepper. He can play in the box. He can play over top. Palomalu was a dog, and he was a
I
for
only liked
sure
him
open
for his
field
hair.
tackler. Huh?
I only liked him for his hair.
He had the VO5 commercial. You know what I mean? He
That
was
is the
getting
one
it
and only
down.
thing I'll give to the Steelers is that Paul Mello had amazing hair. That's it. And
Oh,
Anthony
she ate.
McFarlane because he was a former
Wayne is at
Terp.
home right now. Wayne is at home right
Just
now.
crying.
Just
Dying,
crying that
dying.
he can't get away right now.
But I have to say, my favorite Steelers player at the moment is Anthony McFarlane because he was a former Maryland Terrapin. So
I can dig it.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Antonio Brown, man, he's all mad. Speaking of we'll bring it back to Brady and Gronk. Brady let Gronk make the money. He didn't let Antonio Brown make the money. Is there a comparison? What do you guys think of? I think Antonio Brown was wrong for taking his uniform off. I mean, you got to be
I
professional.
think they were wrong for screwing him over.
So listen, I'm gonna say this, right?
That's $300,000 you screwed that man
Times
out.
3. Hold on though.
Times three.
$300,000 times 3. So we look, make sure it, plus it was 333,000. So
Yeah, exactly.
times
Brain
3. That's
torture.
$1 million. That's $1 million. We can suck it up and say it's $1 million. Everybody always talks about someone's reaction, but they don't want to talk about the action that caused the reaction. So with that being said, Antonio Brown's reaction. Everybody can talk about how bad it was and how wrong it was, right? But let's be realistic. If somebody tries to cheat me out of my $40 a week paycheck, I'm gonna act a whole ass at work until I get all my money. This man is being cheated. I'm not gonna say cheated because I don't know all the stipulations, but based on what I've seen, I would have to say, based on what I've seen, this man felt like he was being robbed of $1 million. Not $1,000, not $100, not $100,000. $1 million in incentives he felt he was being cheated out of. So his teammate, the quarterback's homie, we all know that, best friend, bestie, whatever you want to call it, can get his. Who are we to say how he's supposed to react?
And
How
you
would
just
you
seen
react?
how Murder Mook reacted being screwed out of the Drake thing. He felt he lost 100,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
And that's in a whole nother that's in battle rap, and it's the same reaction. You get the same exact reaction in another different genre of a sport over the same exact thing. Money. So who are we to tell him how he's supposed to act? Let's be real about that.
I mean, I know that there's definitely a certain way to go about a
Right.
reaction, but I feel like in the moment reaction is way different than I'm going to sit and think about this reaction. And if I'm getting
I was
cheated
going
out
to
of
share
$1
the
million,
tip because
I'm
Bailey
going
said
to
something
act.
positive about my Steelers.
There you go. He in it this time.
What?
he back. He back.
He back. Oh, he was back. He
He
gave us
was
one
back, but he
line.
can't talk shit.
What's he
Sorry.
got that? He must have that Comcast internet.
No, he has
He
the
gave
Steelers internet. They barely win.
He got the Steelers internet. That's
He said
bad.
he's barely in. He's barely in here.
He got a foot
They
in the
can barely
game.
win. He's barely in. Yeah, that's how I feel about the Steelers.
Uh-oh. But yeah, no, I understand where Samson's coming from because you know what? I always said you want to mess with a man's heart, forget his woman, hit him in the pockets.
Yeah, mess with his money, man.
Mess with his money.
That's
You want to get to a man, you mess with his money, man. You'll get that dude
But
all
there's more
messed
than
up.
just money to it, especially with football, because not only is you're robbing of his money, but that's money he's putting his body on the line for.
fact.
That's the difference.
Antonio Brown he said it's never been so easy than when I was in Pittsburgh. Why? Because Pittsburgh Steelers let you show up Sunday and play. You didn't have to go to training camp. You didn't have to go to practice. You didn't have to go to team meetings.
No wonder they suck.
Antonio Brown is Antonio Brown is one of them players that you have to tell him yes. You have to tell him yes, yes, yes.
Another one. She's running these points up, Wayne. You better get in here, Wayne. You better figure it out.
You may have won. You may have won on Sunday, but I can still
on
take
you
the
right
shots.
now. Everybody's crossing over to the bat. Hey, she's dropping buckets on you right now, Wayne. Good God, she's firing you up, bro.
Wayne's like, I'm going to bet a Steelers
Hey,
stink that much, but
The only
Antonio
thing
Brown
for
has
me is that
been
win
one
on
of them
Sunday that they
players.
barely had, so it's okay.
I think Antonio. This is what I told somebody on Facebook the other day. I think Antonio Brown was his actions a little extra at the end once he started getting the attention he wanted. I will say yes. All right. But There are teams out here that's gonna feel the same way. Like I said, you tried to rob the man for his money. There's owners out here. I ain't trying to be funny. Snyder, Jerry. There's owners out here that don't care about them type of animals. We've seen it. They've taken in players that have done that as long as they can perform on the field. So I think he'll find another team. To be honest with you, I
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
probably.
For
And
how long is the question?
Since the NFL never got involved, I thought the NFL was going to punish him. I figured they were going to come up with something saying that
Listen,
you made the game look bad, but they said we don't have no part of
we
this.
ain't got nothing to do with that. That's a personal situation with that team.
You know what I mean, Wayne
Yeah,
said
If he
he
finds
can't
a
get
new
in
team,
here.
how long is he going to be there? I feel like he's in a new team every 2 and a
he's
half
in a
years.
new. Listen, I swear, he's two teams this season, ain't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. At least two teams a season lately. But we'll
Yeah,
see what's going on.
he'll
It
end up
says
in
just
Dallas.
ask Bailey, how does it feel to see the Steelers in the playoffs and the Ravens at
Oh,
home, watching the Steelers washing their tights?
mm,
That's all right. You know why? Because 3 years prior, they didn't make it. So we go 1 year not
Mm.
making playoffs, with injuries, COVID, um, and just life. That's cool. You guys can try to rub it in, but
She rebutted you, Wayne. We got a new rebuttal king in the house.
hey,
I'm the
listen,
queen of rebuttals. I have three
Pittsburgh. And
brothers. I
listen,
have to be on top of my game.
Pittsburgh got the Chiefs in the first round.
That's fine. I know the Steelers won't make it very
They,
far in
they
playoffs.
listen,
That's the
listen, Chiefs
greatest
go,
thing.
Another one.
listen, listen, Chiefs go. Listen, man,
No,
man, Mahomes is gonna chop that shit up, man.
that's all I need to hear. That's all I needed. I
Yeah,
like
Mahomes
Patrick
that.
is, man.
Mahomes.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, that's the
Pittsburgh.
only game. If I could see that loss, will be groovy. So
I would.
who makes it on each? Who makes it out of the AFC?
Chiefs,
Mm, I don't know.
Chiefs come out of the AFC.
Who else you think? Like who does Chiefs play for the AFC Championship game?
Ah, that's a tough one.
What do you got? The Raiders and the Bengals, right? On they squaring
I'm
off
going
this week.
Bengals.
Salute to the Raiders. We lost a high schooler this weekend in a car accident by a drunk driver. She was 17 years old, and she was
Damn
a
it.
Raiders fan. And Las Vegas Raiders reached out to her family and said, "We want to honor her for the
Oh,
San
that's tough.
Diego Chargers game." Yeah, that was very
That's
tough.
dope.
17-year-old
Literal
girl.
goosebumps.
That
You
was
know,
dope. Hey,
and
that
the
was a
thing
fire
is,
game too.
yes, yeah, it definitely was. Thing is about this drunk driver, we have people that have suspended sentence after suspended sentence and they never see the inside of a jail, and then these people end up killing a young girl, and that's a shame. So we really need to take an emphasis on drunk driving. There's no excuse anymore not to get a ride home.
Nah, now with
Uber,
Lyft, Uber, there's so much different shit now. There's no
but
excuse at all.
yeah. But salute to everybody. This been real. I'm sorry Wayne couldn't make it, but what do you guys got going on this weekend, Samson? I'm sure you got some
Listen, man.
more.
Right now, I'm actually resting up. We got a lot going on down here in Virginia. It's about to jump off. We got the Power Five Spring League. It's going to be crazy, bro. The Power Five Spring League is basically a bunch of spring leagues in the DMV area. It's pretty much coming together and saying, "Hey, let's cross schedule and make our own type of league, so to speak." So the Power Five League is gonna be crazy. They got meetings coming up, interest meetings coming up. As soon as I get the information, get the flyer, I'm gonna throw it up on my page. Um, and then of course we got Al Spears, my man Al. Salute to him. I'm getting ready to head back to Florida in April to represent the 14U, team VA 14U. So Virginia's put together teams in 6U, 7U, 8U, 10U, 12U, and 14U. We're gonna play an All-Star joint, so I got that jump coming up. The coaching
And
staff is crazy, man. It's me, my man Jeff Overton, Kiki Reynolds, Darius Reynolds, and my brother Isho Biggs. All of us on the same staff. Bunch of very well-respected coaches coaching at
now,
14U, and the
Samson,
other coaching staff is dope too.
like myself, you have also talked about your area don't get no looks. It's like no
None, bro.
recruiters look,
It's
and
it's
and I say
rare.
the same thing about Rhode Island. And what these kids need to realize now is now with this new portal coming out, it's going to be even less kids getting less looks. But now that your town is getting and your area is starting to get
Some
some
love.
looks,
We starting to
you
get some
know,
love, man.
you're
Starting to
starting
get
to
some
get
love.
some love. These kids are standing out a lot more, and we just had a kid, Xavier Trust. He plays for Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh,
He's got
we
a
just got a
national
kid,
championship.
Unity Reed out of Manassas, out in Prince William, out in Northern Virginia. Unity Reed, Sean Murphy, middle linebacker. He'll be going to Alabama.
Nice, nice, and
Yeah, kid's a
Bailey,
dog.
your brothers are on the college level too, right?
One of them just declared for the NFL, and the other one I have I
Okay,
have no clue.
Oh, so
okay.
we're gonna have an NFL alumni
Then you're gonna have to switch
sister
teams.
up in here. Yeah, are you gonna
I'm
switch
not
teams?
switching teams. The hell?
Is he
No.
gonna have will call? Is he gonna have the will call waiting? I switched
Wayne said
teams
he's going to
for.
the Steelers, but I have hope and faith that he's gonna go to like Tampa Bay or
Look, Wayne
Chiefs.
said, keep saying we don't have a chance. What if we beat KC?
My skin will actually sizzle if I have to wear a Steelers jersey. So I'm putting it out in the universe. Chance
He said
Campbell will
change
not
coming to
go.
Pittsburgh.
He said,
Change
chance
is
coming to
coming.
Pittsburgh.
He is
Chance
going to
coming to
Tampa
Pittsburgh.
Bay or Kansas City or any other team in the NFL that's not the Steelers.
So we'll have this is gonna be a heated rival. We're gonna have a versus Bailey and Wayne.
As
You
opposed
know
to
what I
any other
mean?
week.
Ah, she's getting you, Wayne. Oh, you know
She
what?
is,
We got to come back when Wayne gets a better signal soon, so we
yeah,
can kind
she's
of chop
dropping
this up.
buckets on him right now. Bailey is balling. She's buckets on him right now, dog.
But Rusty, we actually have a couple group of kids that are going down to play in the Shock Doctor Pylon tournament.
Oh, yeah?
This week down in
Miami.
yeah, it's down in Florida. I can't
Yep,
believe it. And
Miami.
then they're
I
going
want to
to
say it's Miami
Kentucky,
because we got,
Panama City.
if I'm not mistaken, I can't speak for him, but I know him. If I'm not mistaken, I think PME is sending a group down there. My man Juwan and Daryl Overton them would take teams down there to that joint. So I think PME will be down there too. They was down there last year, so I think they'll be down there this year. Metro used to go
Nice.
down there.
And then we got behind the pads is going to Kentucky for another tournament, and then our 14U team is going to compete back to back NFL Flag League
Okay,
championship game, which is a national game, only the last two. So shout out to them. I'm glad we got these kids being seen, whether you're in Virginia, Maryland, Rhode
facts,
Island,
bro. Facts,
Kentucky.
bro.
We got to get these kids seen now. You high school kids are competing with college players now, to get on your
That's
college
crazy. I
level
don't like
team.
that, man. I
I
don't
don't
like
like
that,
it
bro.
either, but
I don't like it, bro.
there's no oversight in it, and it's gonna take
Man, I
almost three
hate that,
years
bro.
for this to come
Because
back
now you're
down.
making it harder. Now you're making it harder for the kids in high school that's been working their ass off to get there. You're making it harder, even harder for them to get there, bro.
It was
I do
already
not
hot
like that at
enough. It
all.
was hot enough
It was
before it.
already difficult, right?
Yes,
Man, that's tough. Because the thing about it, if you're a recruiter, of course you're gonna hit the portal first. That just makes sense.
yeah.
It just makes sense.
Hypothetically.
As a business, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, but the high school kids." I said, "But you're not thinking as a businessman. If I'm a businessman, I'm saying, okay, am I gonna take a high school kid or am I gonna go get the experience?" And as a business, you want to get the experience.
You're gonna go get the experience, man. Listen,
I'd
I
take
think
talent
this
over experience.
this portal is gonna blow up D2. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna blow up the D2 teams. The
Well,
D2 teams are gonna get
yeah,
stronger.
I'm
The
seeing
D2 team,
D3 teams right now that are having D1 talent trickling down. I just watched a D3 team get a 3-star quarterback.
that you see
You
what I'm
know what I
saying?
mean? So yeah, so
It's
you have
gonna
kids that
happen.
are trickling
It's
down.
gonna
Right,
happen. So it's gonna
exactly.
make those smaller schools stronger. You know what I mean? So that's what's gonna have to happen. You're gonna see a lot of kids that got D1 numbers that are gonna go D2 because of the portal.
That's it, man. But thank you, man. Wayne, Rusty, Samson, Bailey, we
Already, baby.
appreciate it
Of course.
every week. We'll have to do this again really, really soon when Wayne gets a better signal. But yeah, we'll definitely chop it up. Samson, what do you think about the Midnight Madness tournament that Sioux Surf? I think everyone's gonna get indicted. If you've been following it. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna have a whole bunch of battle rappers getting indicted. you You know what I mean? Talking about gambling,
Hey,
putting money on the floor.
Surf is always in some shit with the police, man.
Yeah, you would think,
Surf is
I don't see.
always like I don't get it, man.
Yeah, Surf's always into something, but we could definitely chop that up soon, Samson.
Most definitely. Hey, what do you real quick? What do you think? Did Danny 30 Tay Rock or no?
I think so. You know what I mean? Tay Rock's never gonna get that kind of love, but I think you know what? Danny is definitely the rebuttal. She's in the room. Danny is definitely the rebuttal god. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? And
I'm with you.
he's so much older, but Tay Rock has that app power. Tay Rock has that. He's young. He done 41 battles. I don't think he got paid for half of them.
Half of them. He
You know what
didn't.
I
He
mean?
didn't get
Nah,
paid for half of them.
he
He
definitely
definitely
didn't.
didn't. He
But man,
definitely didn't.
you
We
know
talking big hat, big jean Tay Rock. He definitely didn't get paid for those.
that no one in Maryland knows who he is.
What?
I ask people in Maryland, Tay Rock. Who Tay Rock? Ask Wayne who Tay Rock is. You
Man,
know what
Tay
I
Rock is that.
mean?
Listen, that's because he was up north all the time, man. Then, like I said, he
Yeah.
had the big ass fucking, he had the big fitted
Yep.
cap and the bag of jeans. He looked like he was from New York.
K-Shine, DNA, Mook. I mean, I like them. Them
Briz
dudes.
is
Matt
back. You think
Hoffa.
Briz is back?
Briz won't battle till he battles Mook, and then that's gonna happen on RB. You're gonna see on RBE coming up Hitman versus A Ward.
You think RBE gonna get that one?
Yeah, RBE's picking up the slack. RBE is really
ARP
they
been on this shit for a while though, bro.
yeah. Oh, ARP has been down, but now URL suing them, all kinds of stuff going on. But
What? See, I
oh
listen. So
yeah,
I stepped away from the battle rap. I ain't been into it, really delved into it in about. I think yesterday was the first time I actually watched a vlog about battle rap in about 6 months, man. I watched Piperboy Williams vlog yesterday, and I seen the caffeine joint. Of course, some of the caffeine joint, but I ain't been. I got to catch up now.
hit
What
me,
they
hit
sort?
me. Oh yeah, they're suing them, saying that RBE did the Daylight King Los battle, and that was contracted for URL. So now they're suing RBE and not Daylight. They're suing RBE for blocking a battle. Imagine that URL suing.
What
Yeah,
URL is suing RBE for blocking them?
yeah,
As
yeah,
much as many battles. Come on, Smack. You got to do better. You got to do better than that, Smack.
yeah. And
As
now
many
Norbs has
motherfucking
his own. Norbs is coming on the scene. Norbs is about to own half of URL. So I mean, he's gonna win his
Yeah, listen.
lawsuit.
That's when I listen. Last time I heard Norbs had it, they had actually extended his lawsuit. That
Go
was the
check
last
out
time I
Norbs
heard.
at All. He does a podcast every night, and he brings everyone on that hates URL. And even Remy Mar has a battle league now called Chrome 23, which is going to put Queen of the Ring out of business. So, we should get a battle rap show going, Samson. You know what I mean?
Listen, I got to get back into it, man. I
Yes,
got to go
yes,
check it out.
but
Remy Mar got a battle. Queen of the Ring actually has
yeah,
competition now. Wow, that
yes,
is
but we'll
crazy.
definitely talk soon.
Most definitely, bro.
I thank you, everybody. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Rusty Bailey, Samson. We'll talk
course.
next week.
All right, homie.
Next week.
Okay, bye.
Hey.
Well, that's it. Thank you, everybody, man. Too bad Wayne had a little bit of technical issues, man. But don't forget to check out.
I two-step and do my own dance. I ain't rocking shit else. I wear my own brand. Ball game everything. Ball game snapback. Ball game V-neck. Ball game backpack. Ball game sticks to the seats of the Cadillac. Disrespect my movement. I ain't having that. Get your girl, cause I'll...
What y'all thought we was done? Oh, we ain't never done. It's Mr. Spin Your Block. Yeah, it's the remix. And I got some shooters with me. Yeah, and I got some shooters with me. I ain't even doing no more talking. We straight at 'em.
Trying to, so let me call him now.
Well, you can go.